Hey Nomads, this is Amelia here. First off, thanks to everybody who subscribed and liked and commented and was just really positive about my first vlog. It's been really inspiring and motivating, and I have loads of new ideas for videos. One about teaching English, one about what it's like in Taiwan. Some of them will be me with the camera wandering around Taiwan showing you some of my favourite vegan places and some of my life is like here. And in 2 weeks I'm going to Hong Kong with a vegan friend, so there will be a Vegans in Hong Kong video to come. I have a few funny videos lined up, so stay watching, keep subscribing and look out for more videos. Today I'm going to talk about being vegan when you travel, because a lot of, particularly chefs, the type who get really excited going to Europe and looking at all the cows and then looking at all the dead cows and then looking at the meat and looking at, like a lot of those chefs say that being vegan when you travel is disrespectful and makes you a bad traveller because you can't enjoy the culture and you're rejecting the food of the local people. And when I started travelling, I was really worried about this because I'd lived in the jungle as an omnivore, as a meat eater, and in Ecuador, and I had been aware that there was local food that we tried, and that maybe when I became vegan I wouldn't be able to fully enjoy travelling as much. But really it hasn't worked out that way at all, and the way I feel about vegan views is that there's no more reason to disrespect veganism than there is to disrespect religion. And people, it's a two-way street, we come to their country and they expect us to respect their cultures and respect their customs, and in return I would hope that they would respect my views. And the people who make the fuss about vegan travellers are not the people being visited, they're the people visiting. People who say that it's disrespectful, it's the travellers and not the places travelled to. I have never heard people in Taiwan, for instance, where I now live, raise an issue with my veganism. Actually, they're very respectful about it, far more respectful than the Westerners, and they usually respond by telling me where I should go to eat, or mentioning somebody they know who's vegan or vegetarian, and asking me, of course, if I'm Buddhist and eat onions and garlic. They're really nice about it, and they're really genuine and just excited that I've come at all to their country and I'm at all interested in their culture. And from what I've heard from other vegan travellers, nobody's had an experience that's different. Nobody, you're not going to go to, say, Cambodia and be in rural Cambodia and have people shout at you because you can't eat their local delicacy. If anything, they'll just get confused, and you're maybe just going to have to be really, really clear that you don't want meat or anything with animal derivatives in it. Like in China, pig oil ends up in everything, and bits of pork, and in South America you're going to get egg in a lot of things, I think, and bits of meat again. So it's more just a question of having to be really careful and really clear, and it's definitely worth carrying like a sheet of paper with your needs written on it in the local language, which is really easy to get. Like, you can find somebody who can speak English and whatever language, and you can get the sheet written out. It's like 5 minutes of work, and it will save you a lot of bother and a lot of hassle. When I was hitchhiking, I always left about a third of my bag. I had a backpack, see that? I had a backpack about that big, maybe. And I don't need much to travel, mainly at the moment food, so I had like a compartment of food, just for food, set aside. What I travelled with were fruit, nuts, basic vegetables, like you can stick some carrots in your bag, that's great, they travel really well. Peppers travel quite well. I would buy these little vegetable spreads because I was in Central Europe, they were amazing. And I could also buy the solid rye bread packs very cheaply. Again, Central Europe thing, and I would keep those in my bag. They crumbled up a little, but they were tasty and they were filling and they were really good for travelling with. What else? Mainly fruit, apples, vegetables. You can hang them off the bottom of your bag as well if you're on the road, because the issue with hitchhiking as a vegan is sometimes you get stranded for like overnight, 12 hours, like 6 hours at a service station in the middle of nowhere on a motorway, and there's just nothing to eat there. So you're going to need food prepared, but it's not as much work as you think it is. Just stick some food in your bag and go. And I was hitchhiking on a budget and travelling on a budget, obviously. I mean, I was hitchhiking. So the other thing I did is that rather than buy huge amounts of food to cook at just one couch surface, or little bits, which works out as more expensive, I would bulk buy things like potatoes and tofu, things that didn't necessarily need a refrigerator, and onions, and I would keep them also in my backpack, which was great for muscles. And I would, when I got to a couch surface, I would use them, and it saved me having to buy new things at each person's. It saved somebody else having to feed me. You know, it's nice to go for a meal together if you're couch surfing, but you don't want to be relying on them all the time to feed you. And I also travelled, top tip, I travelled with little bags of herbs and spices, carefully sealed in my backpack. And that meant that when I got to somebody's flat, I could just sprinkle them over, and they'd go with anything. And that made my dishes really flavourful, kept me from getting bored, and yeah, kept me interested. The only issue I found was like being in any new country, being away from your friendship group who are used to you being vegan. When I was travelling, if I was staying with meat eaters, the social things would involve meat, and generally I'm actually okay around meat eaters, and I don't especially mind meat being eaten near me. But there was one time we were at a beer garden in Munich at the top of a mountain, and it was like a vegan's worst nightmare. There were like just slabs of pork belly, and it was all pig and like huge tankards of beer. And what made it disgusting was the flies, because it was outdoors and it was summer in the south of Germany and it was hot. And there were just what I saw as being basically like overcooked, rotting bits of carcass everywhere, with flies buzzing around, and everything smelled like, because it was hot, the smells of the meat. Ugh. So that can be an issue. But really that's the only problem I've found, that and just clarifying things. Taiwan has been really easy so far. Hong Kong I'm sure will be easy. I'm going to Southeast Asia and Japan at some point this year, which I'm excited about, so I'll keep you updated on that. Yeah, but really travelling as a vegan isn't something you should have an issue with, and actually I feel like it's something we should do more of, because vegans should travel and should get out there and should spread the message, because veganism for animal rights and for ethics is very much like a Western phenomenon, and the animal rights here, for example, still have to catch up. And so going to somewhere where veganism is lesser known and talking to them about it and letting them ask questions and responding with patience and understanding is really important, because we can't just stay where it's comfortable, we can't just stay where we know we can get food, where we know we can go out and eat out at a vegan place. because it's easy, you know, it's not going to get easier anywhere else. And in Taiwan, you can really see the influence of the Western vegans here, where they've opened up vegan restaurants here that are about non-GMO, about organic, about fresh food, about healthy food. Because even though it's very easy to be vegan here, it's easy to be a Taiwanese vegan and not a Western vegan. So a lot of the vegetarian buffets are like really, really greasy, quite tired vegetables, lots of tofu, lots of soy. But the Western vegan places are healthier and fresher, and they love them here. Like, to go and eat anywhere, you've got to wait for ages if it's it's like around meal times, if it's afternoon or evening. You've got to wait for quite a long time to get a seat, and everything sells out really fast. It's really popular. But, you know, if people weren't traveling, if people weren't coming here, I don't think that would be happening. So if you're vegan, go and travel, and you will love it. Okay, I think that's it. So thanks for listening to me ramble about how much I love traveling and being a vegan. And if you've liked my video, you should click the like button and the big red subscribe one, and leave me a nice comment. And also, if you've traveled, like I've so far only traveled as a vegan in Europe and Asia. And I've been to South America, but I was an omnivore then. So if you've travelled anywhere and you have experiences, please let me know. I'm really interested to hear about them, to hear about any tips, any foods you have to try. So let me know. And yeah, if you've liked this video, click the like, press the big subscribe, leave me a comment. Go and like me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Plant Powered Nomad. I have an Instagram, also Plant Powered Nomad. I will try and make another video same time next week. And that is all from me today. Bye!